Ooh, I kicked your ass. Wait, what were you drinking?
I have a Budweiser Select because I got to get rid of them.
Skinny, you need to stop drinking that. Welcome back. No, okay, go ahead. Welcome back to another. Gosh, dang it. Welcome back to another episode of Offseason Fun with Skinny and the Hammer. I'm your host, the Hammer,
and I'm Skinny Domestic. No, what I was gonna say is I have two of them left, so I've just been using them for our shotguns on this.
Skinny, how are we ever gonna get a sponsor for not drinking the natties?
Dude, I'm working on making like a bullshit commercial out of the picture
natty stuff,
and then what I said. But like, it's not a good commercial because I said it tastes like piss. So like, I don't think they're gonna be too fond of that.
We should totally make a fake commercial. That'd be really funny to do. Like, actually,
what we need to do is just grab a bunch of beers, though. So then it's not like we're favoring one beer, you know? Like every scene
a beer, like a general beer commercial. Like every single day, I wake up and I'm pissed off, and I drink a beer.
Yeah, and you're drinking a fucking natty, and then the next scene, it's like after a hard day's work, I'm cracking a beer, and it's like a Busch Light, you know, like just start cracking random beers, just so that way.
No, I think we should.
That would be funny.
Of course, I am repping the Anheuser, so I will be drinking Anheuser products.
I'll drink literally any cold or free beer you're probably going to put in my face. As much as I hate Natty Light, it was there to drink, so I drank it. But yeah, legal tampering has started. By the time this episode releases, we've already, it'll actually be free agency starting, because that's, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Wednesday, tomorrow, for the filming of this. But this isn't going to be released until Thursday, which free agency's already started, and legal tampering's been going on. So really, this episode is just going over moves, doing a quick. There's been a lot, so we're not gonna dive into every single one of them. We may miss some. Clearly, anything after the time that we're filming this, we're not going to be talking about. But we have been posting on the socials for certain things. Marcus has been doing really good on the Insta, at least releasing.
Yes, I have.
So we're just going to get started into it because this is going to take a while, depending on how long some of this stuff is. I hope you guys enjoyed the NFL Combine video. I know it wasn't the whole NFL Combine, but it was fun. We had fun with it.
It was very fun to film.
Next year, I think we're gonna start having people on. So if you want to come BS and do an NFL Combine with us next year, just let us know, and we'll keep you in consideration. But Marcus,
we also need to fill out the dynasty spot. So if anyone wants to be in a Two Drunk Guys dynasty, hit us up.
Yeah, let us know because I think we have probably 4 to 5 spots open.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Awesome. Let us know. It's going to be a cheap buy at the start, so don't worry about money.
First thing, Mike Evans re-signs a 2-year extension with the Bucs. That was a surprising move to me because he did say the year that he wasn't going to be with the Bucs again. He's going to play it out. It was good. And to go with that, the Bucs re-signed Baker Mayfield to a 3-year, $100 million contract, 50 guaranteed. I would say that was pretty fair deal for the Bucs on Baker. It may have been a little bit of money, a little bit overpaid, but it's only $30 million a year. And compared to some of the other quarterbacks that have contracts, Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, I would say that's not a bad deal.
I'm giving Baker 20 to 25, overpaid, but
not that bad.
No, but it's still
not
overpaid.
that bad. I would say that's fair.
That's
Plus, he did a lot for that team last year.
That's like $10 million, roughly. $5 to $10 million you could have used for a whole nother player, but whatever. That's just me. That's why I'm not an NFL GM.
The steal of free agency as of right now, Russell Wilson did get released by the Broncos, and then the Steelers signed him to a $1.2 million deal because he has so much dead cap with the Broncos he's getting paid, which is a steal of a deal. So that's got to be the best pickup of all free agency as of right now, I would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. And he's locked in. I think with the culture the Steelers have, it's going to be a lot better for him compared to what Denver supplied him, and actually being able to coach and things like that with him.
So Brian Burns got franchise tagged, then he got traded. I need to find that information because I put that on here as well. But he got traded for what was it, a second round and something?
Second and a fifth.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't see that, but yeah, he got traded for a second and a fifth, and then he got like $100 million contract,
5 year, $150 million.
Great for the Giants.
That
A
defensive
second
line,
round pick.
pretty scary.
Yeah, that is going to be scary. The Giants did a pretty good job in free agency for how many dumb moves they've had. With that, Saquon Barkley got released, and then he also got picked up by the Eagles for a. See, now I got to look. I forgot how many people got released and picked up so quickly too.
His is a 3 year, like 40 something, 48 something like that, in that range.
3 year, $37.7 million contract. I don't like it because I feel like they'll run the ball, but if it's been like the Eagles' offense the last 2 years, they're not going to really use Saquon to his fullest ability. He's a great pass catcher. And I just don't. And he got paid a ton for someone that's so injury prone.
Yeah, $15.8 million a year. Watching some of these other backs go, I like Saquon as a talent. I'm optimistic with having Moore as our offensive coordinator because he's had Zeke, he's had Pollard, he's had Eckler. And we have he's going from a bottom 6, 7 offensive line to a top 5 offensive line. So there's gonna be a lot of difference there. It gives me hope too, just because DeAndre Swift had over 1,000 yards rushing last year and had games where he had 9 rushing attempts. So, or 1 or 2, like those type of games where if we just let him work, let him feed him, get him the ball, let him be the talent he's going to be, it's going to be worth the $15.8 million. But unless they're going to be doing the shit that they did last year with Swift, I would have rather had to try to push Swift instead of Swift getting, well, I'll just say it, getting his 3 year, $24 million with the Bears. Why couldn't we just do a 3 year, $26, $27 million, pay him a little extra couple hundred million, extra $1 million or $2 million just to keep him, but we would have saved $6 million by not signing Saquon.
Yeah. You think next year he's going to be in this year's fantasy draft? Do you think he's going to be top 12 pick?
Saquon? Probably. I bet he is. I kind of see it happening just because. But the other one too. The other one too is it all depends on what the league does with the whole brotherly shove stuff too. If that actually is voted on, where you can't do that anymore. If clearly Moore is going to want to use it in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. But if it's certain aspects of it of a banned, then what? That takes away. Think about it. We ran it 40, almost 50 times last year or something like that. That's going to put the ball in Saquon's hand a little bit more often than Hurts.
It's a lot of touches. Yeah. It's a lot of touches.
So it
would behoove the Eagles to have Jalen Hurts run less and run a running back, because then play action would work better and your offense would be smoother because you have a lot of weapons on there. It's you guys ran the ball, but you didn't run it. No one was worried about DeAndre Swift. Let's be honest.
Yeah. He had 4 touchdowns. If Saquon can get 8, I would say that's a successful season behind that offensive line, and Hurts probably is going to be taking some away. You guys also have to think from a quarterback and running back perspective, we have the 2 strongest legs of both being able to squat over 600 pounds apiece. There's going to be...
Do you guys just need to throw in, what's his face? The running back for the Packers. The backup. Oh, he's a backup now.
A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, A.J. Dillon. You'd have quadzillas everywhere, dude.
Yeah, like that. The amount of power we're going to have on short downs and distances is going to be crazy. But
Dalton Schultz, 3-year contract with the Texans, worth $36 million. Good signing. He had a decent year last year. He really picked it up towards the end of the season. It seemed like he was a good target for. I can't think of his name now.
CJ Stroud.
I can see his face. Yeah.
The thing,
Um,
the thing that I love about this too, I guess I don't know if you wrote down Noah Brown's contract amount, but Noah Brown is also coming back to the Texans. That means C.J. Stroud has every single pass catcher the
he had
same.
last year.
Yep, not a single.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming back. Everybody's with the team. The only difference is losing Singletary, but
Hmm. Justin Matabuke, the defensive tackle for the Ravens, got a 4-year, $98 million contract. Resign. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know who he is.
one of the guys, just one of the
Yeah,
bros.
one of the big defensive tackles they had. Antoine Winfield Jr. got franchise tagged.
Knew that was
Good
gonna
safety.
happen.
He needed to go to the Vikings, but like his daddy who did, but whatever. Seahawks released Quandre Diggs, who I don't believe has gotten picked up yet.
Nope.
And also, Seahawks released Jamal Adams, who has not gotten picked up either, which is crazy. I mean, I know that Jamal Adams has been hurt, and he has been, but dude, it was like 3 years ago. Jamal Adams was the best safety in the league.
Yeah.
He got traded for a first round pick, didn't he?
Yeah. Well,
Or something like a high ass pick.
the fall off he had is crazy because he's more of a run safety, not a pass safety. So you want more of a pass safety with how today's game is going. But yeah, kind of shocked neither of those two names have been kind of thrown around yet.
Michael Pittman Jr. got franchise tagged, and then he got a contract. I think it was worth 70-some million.
3 years, 77, 78 million, something like that.
Yeah. Good for them. It'll be good for
Richardson secures a guy for him, and
yeah.
Pittman had Pittman had his best year.
Yeah. Jalen Johnson signs a 4-year, $76 million deal with the Bears. He was another one that they were saying he was going to leave. They weren't going to do anything. Then they ended up keeping him, which is surprising. But he's a solid top 10 corner, and he makes less than Jair Alexander.
I'm glad that the Bears opted to keep him because they needed something on their defense that's been there and knows the scheme and has been able to produce. Getting rid of him just wouldn't have made sense, especially when you're trying to build your team now, either if you keep Fields or not, whatever you do.
L'Jarius Sneed got franchise tagged. Josh Allen got franchise tagged. The Jags defensive end, not the quarterback, obviously. Zach Ertz signed a contract with the Commanders. Good, solid tight end for the Commanders.
Well,
whoever their quarterback is going to be, Drake May.
Sam Howell. Who'd they just sign?
They signed Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
right.
So you have potentially three quarterbacks that you can play with. They did release Logan Thomas, so I like that pickup. I think Zach Ertz is a better tight end at this point in their careers than Logan Thomas. Plus, he also brings, I think, a little bit better overall experience and what do you call it, the veteran mentality at this point for him. So,
Jordan Poyer released by the Bills. Shocking, was another guy that was a pretty high contributor to that defense, and then Tre'Davious White got released. I was very shocked by that because he was a top 10 corner.
Speaking of Jordan Poyer, he just signed with the Dolphins on a 1-year deal.
Really? I hope the Vikings get Tre'Davious White because we could shore up some pieces in our defensive backfield and do that. Justin Simmons got released, but he got signed somewhere, right? Or no?
Nope, not yet.
Nope, not yet. Okay. Dolphins re-signed Dolphins signed Jonnu Smith to a 2-year, $10 million deal. Jonnu Smith, the Falcons' best pass catcher last year.
He can thank Arthur Smith for that contract.
Yep, I'm surprised he didn't go to the Steelers. Tyrann Matthews extended 2 years, $13 million. Patrick Peterson got released. That kind of sucked, but I mean, he is old.
He could go to a team that's kind of deep at DBs. Give him a veteran guy. They need it.
Jerry Jeudy traded to the Broncos to the Browns. Gets the Broncos get a sixth and a fifth round pick. Um, I like it. I don't. Jerry Judy's been a huge disappointment in his career this far. He hasn't been what he was in college, and he's supposed to be a good route runner and all this. He's really taken the back end to Cortland Sutton and really anyone else in that offense. He has not been a true number two. He hasn't even been a number three a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
maybe Deshaun Watson will get him started and he'll throw a little more. I don't know. That's a hard offense because they run the ball so much too. So
And they signed Jameis Winston, so if you know you're going to get a guy that's going to come in and sling the ball for you.
I didn't know they signed Jameis Winston.
Yep.
That's nice. Chiefs resigned Chris Jones, 5-year, $95 million contract, $32 million guaranteed. Huge money right there. Huge money.
Deserves it.
He does. He was a big part of that Super Bowl team. He's a stud, probably one of the best interior linemen in the NFL. So I can't complain about that. Brandon Graham signs a 1-year extension.
I like it. I was really hoping that Fletcher Cox and Kelsey and Graham would all be like, let's do one more together. But Fletcher Cox and Kelsey retired. I know deep down that these two are looking at this offseason right now and are like, man, I may just do it and come back for one more with what we've put together. Like,
maybe
it might be tempting.
I think they're about done though.
Probably, but it'd be tempting.
Jags traded Mac Jones for a late round pick. Kind of shocking.
I think
Trevor Lawrence was supposed to take a big step last year, and he looked very, very, very inconsistent at best. So I don't hate it. I mean, Mac Jones had some potential, and he looked like he was the best rookie in that class once it came to quarterback for that deep draft class. But I don't hate it. I feel like it's insurance. It kind of lights a fire under Trevor Lawrence's ass. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is going anywhere, but we'll see.
I think it'll, instead of getting a guy like C.J. Beathard, who isn't really going to compete much for you for that starting spot, Mac Jones at least has been a starter and can, like you said, light that fire. So we'll see how that goes.
And Mac Jones will break people's ankles and stuff and kick people in the nuts.
Exactly.
He's good at that.
Exactly.
Dirty player. Fletcher Cox retired.
Already talked about that. That's fine. We got defensive tackles. We're good.
Skinny doesn't care. Kevin Byard, 2-year, $15 million deal with the Bears. The Bears made a lot of splash. That's a good defensive back for them. They need it. Honestly, after this offseason, I think that I'm scared of the Packers and the Bears and the Lions. Honestly, I think the Vikings are the worst team in the division now. They have shored up and got some dogs.
Yeah, I would agree.
DeAndre Swift, 3 years, $24 million deal with the Bears. Great pickup for them.
Yeah.
Great pickup for them. They needed a running back, someone that obviously. Let's be completely honest. Justin Fields' time with the Chicago Bears is over. He's not going to start for them. They're going to take Caleb Williams. I think that's almost a sure thing in my mind and everyone else's mind. They're going to draft a quarterback. What better to have a running back as talented as Swift to run the ball? And he had his best year last year with the Eagles, and I don't think we touched the potential of what he can be in the NFL.
If you use him more than 9 rushes a game or 1 rush attempt in the first half or 3 rush attempts in the second half, he's going to give you over 1,000 yards every season. Like just use him correctly and you're going to get a lot more value than what the Eagles got out of him.
I 100% agree. I can't believe I'm putting down this many beers since Courtney's party, man. Jesus Christ. I've been wanting to drink beer all week.
I may have to grab more. I've only grabbed 2, but this one's going down too smooth.
They're flowing too quick. It's scaring me. Um, Tony Pollard, 3-year, $24 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. Um,
I'm not a fan.
he had a so disappointing year last year. Tajay Spears looked pretty good. I don't know what this is going to look like. It kind of to me feels like a weirdly enough kind of feels like a DeMarco Murray fit. I know that he's not the DeMarco Murray player, but I just feel like in the scheme, I guess we don't know what the new head coach is going to bring, what kind of scheme they're going to be in, but it just feels like a weird fit to me.
Well, him and Spears are basically like the same type of player.
Same back.
Like it's
Yeah.
you're not getting much difference out of him. Like at this rate, you're better off not spending the money on him and
Keeping Derrick Henry.
yeah, keeping Derrick Henry for how cheap he went. So
Yeah.
it just I don't like it. I mean, it may work out. I'm not a fan of it.
Vikings signed Jonathan Greenard to a 4-year, $76 million contract. He had 12 and a half sacks for the Texans last year. I feel like it's a lot of money for someone who had their best year last year and kind of was injured and had, I think his next best year was 8 sacks. Daniil Hunter's there. It's probably cheaper than what Hunter would want to have. We need guys on the defense. I'm okay with it. I would say
how much was it?
$76 million contract
For how many years?
4. So roughly
It's
about 20 mil a year.
Yeah, it's just under. Daniil Hunter got signed by the Texans for 2 years, 49 mil. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah,
Hunter
saving money at least on that.
Yeah, I mean Daniil Hunter must have just got signed then. Yeah.
like 40 minutes ago.
I'm okay with that. We need help on the defense, and we have gone out this offseason. Excuse me, got some defensive players. I'm okay with it. He's like 26, 27. I don't mind it. Christian Wilkins, a 4-year, $110 million contract. 84 million in guaranteed. Crazy Raiders. That's a good pickup.
That front four is going to be scary too. If Tyreek Wilson can make a jump after last year of his rookie season, him, Max Crosby, and Wilkins is going to be. I'm sorry to be in that division. Got to play them twice a year. I'm sorry. That's not going to be fun.
Josh Jacobs to the Packers.
Shock. That was a shocker. I was completely shocked by that.
I like it though. I mean, they want a bell cow back. He's obviously, I mean, he is decent at catching the ball. He's not like Aaron Jones, but I think they're done with I can't think of his name ever. I hate once I can't think of these, like AJ Dillon. Once I get out of like football season, like I totally like I'm like, what are these guys' freaking names? Like I don't hear them all the time. But they're both power backs. I think AJ Dillon's time is done in Green Bay, so I feel like he's going to take a majority of the snaps. He's a good running back. Had a down year this year, but still had some potential. So, Jags signed Gabe Davis to a 3-year deal. I don't have the money. I don't think this bodes well for Calvin Ridley.
Nope, he wants to stay a Jag. But they have Christian Kirk, they have him. They signed another guy too, but he's primarily didn't they just I think it was Duvernay, but he's more of a
Devin Duvernay.
Yeah, but they're
deep threat.
he's a deep threat, but he's also like he's more of like a special teams guy typically.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis I think has been a good number 2, but you're asking him to come in and be a number 1 right now, and I don't think it'll pan out how they think it will for him to be a number 1. I'm not a fan of that contract.
Yeah. Gabe Davis is talented, but we'll see. Calvin Ridley had a 1,000-yard season last year. Was it a great 1,000-yard season? Hell no, but the quarterback play in Jacksonville was not great last year. Eagles signed Bryce Huff to a 3-year, $51.1 million deal. I think it's good.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick is probably going to get traded, so we got to replace that defensive end position. And he had a good season with the Jets. I like it. He's young, another younger guy.
Yeah.
Keep that defensive line young. I'm excited. Plus, we have the same name, so it's okay. It's cool.
We already talked about Saquon to the Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a second for this. I don't want to talk about it. I'm upset. I'm really upset. Kirk Cousins, I hate you. I hate you. I want everyone to know, everything I said, Jalen Hurts is better than Kirk Cousins. Every debate we had last year, I lied. I was lying to you guys. Jalen Hurts is the best, top 10. Kirk Cousins, fuck you. But Kirk Cousins decided to not take the Vikings. Reportedly, they were offering him $40 million a year, but it wasn't enough for Kirk Cousins. He wanted to be the fourth highest paid quarterback of all time with his earnings, career earnings, $400 million freaking dollars. More than Tom Brady, more than freaking Aaron Rodgers, more than Peyton Manning, more than people that win freaking Super Bowls. A 4-year, $180 million deal with the Falcons. Okay, the Falcons, I'm sorry to tell Falcons fans, that is the dumbest move of all offseason. You overpaid this man so much money. That's like Patrick Mahomes' money.
One playoff win.
That one playoff win. In 6 years, we've seen the playoff twice, man, and I love Kirk. Look, the balloons are going up. We've seen it twice. Twice we've seen the playoffs. I liked Kirk Cousins. I thought he was an above-average quarterback. I thought he did good. But like, he was like, I'll take the hometown discount. I'll take the hometown discount. He's going to uproot his family to go to freaking Atlanta from Minnesota. Atlanta's a bad place. I hate Atlanta. And they're over here going and doing that. Like, gosh, dude, it just upsets me.
The funniest thing I saw was somebody's like, oh, Kirk can't win primetime games. And the guy's like, when the fuck do the Atlanta Falcons play in primetime? We good?
That's true. I mean, dude, it's besides my emotional feelings as a Viking fan, because like, I'm gonna burn the socks. I'm gonna do it all. Like, I just gotta get rid of Kirk Cousins because the last 6 years have been a waste of potential. We wasted the Mike Zimmer defense. We wasted Adam Thielen. Diggs was right. All these Kyle Rudolph in his prime. Like, we wasted all these good players. Dalvin Cook. He didn't get Adrian Peterson, but like Dalvin Cook, we wasted all that. Sorry, I'm just worked out.
Well, and then the Falcons last year won't take a gamble on young Lamar Jackson for $200 million, but will get a 35-year-old
36.
Kirk Cousins.
They're going to have him until 40.
Kirk Cousins with coming off a torn Achilles. Like, we'll gamble $180 million on that, no problem. But $200 million to Lamar, who's 10 years younger, we're not gonna even bother. Here's
the thing.
I think Kirk makes the Falcons a better team, but it's a stupid contract.
It is, and the thing is, if Kirk stayed in Minnesota, he would have been part of the Minnesota Ring of Honor. Like, he would have been able to do that. Like, Kirk Cousins' legacy now is just leaving places high and dry. I'm not saying don't take no money, but dude, the man has generational wealth. He didn't need that money. Now, Minnesota wasn't a contender, so it's not like it's like whatever. But still, like, neither is Atlanta. Go to Pittsburgh. They're a contender, but you didn't want to do that because they don't have the money. Because you're all about the money, Kirk. You selfish little man. But let's go on a positive note. Fantasy. Give me Kyle Pitts. Give me Drake London. Give me Bijan Robinson. I am so excited for this offense because it's going to be garbage time, trash football in the weakest division in football, and give me all of it. Because Kirk Cousins, to the moon, man. All they got to do with their pick, get Joe Alt, get the best offensive lineman they can in there, make that offensive line good. Screw the defense, because all I want to see is high-flying offense, running the piss out of Bijan Robinson and throwing touchdown passes. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
All I want to see.
So on the bright side to that, you guys brought in your franchise quarterback Sam Darnold, 1 year, $10 million.
We gotta keep cutting me, right? Like I got cuts all over the arms. Minnesota Vikings. KOC. Our GM. What's his name? I can't think of his name. It's I don't know, some name. It starts with a K. I can't remember. I can never remember. But you're telling me the best we could do for a bridge quarterback is bring in Sam Darnold. Russell Wilson was worth $1 million. Can we not afford $1 million? Can we not get Russell Wilson to come to our team? Is that what you're telling me? That we couldn't be like, Russell Wilson, we'll give you $2 million. You know, fuck it, Russell. We'll give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, whatever you want. You can't get Russell fucking Wilson. You can't get. We took Sam Darnold. We took Sam Darnold. We couldn't get freaking, I don't know, Gardner Minshew, who signed a 2-year, $25 million contract. I really have Gardner Minshew. We couldn't get Jameis Winston. We couldn't get freaking Joe Flacco. But we're over here getting Sam Darnold because he has better potential than Jacoby Brissett signed for a 1-year, $6 million or $8 million contract or $6 million contract. $4 million we could have saved, and we could have made a better fucking defense. We could have paid JJ. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's so dumb, dude. Like, you. I think that they thought they were going to get Kirk back. I think they did. I think that they had no plan, and they thought Kirk was going to sign with them. I think that's what it is, because this has got to have been the worst offseason I've ever seen the Minnesota Vikings. Like, yeah, we're getting all these defensive players. That's great, because Brian Flores is going to be our next head coach is what's going to fucking happen. Because KOC and Kusi or whatever his name, I can't ever remember his name. But they need to be out the freaking door, man. They got to be out the door after this season. They're like, 2025, they're going to have $100 million in cap space. Yeah, 2025, they're not going to be part of the Minnesota Vikings. So, Bill Belichick's going to be our next head coach, and we're going to win a Super Bowl. Is what's going to happen. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how this whole JJ situation pans out now, because he wanted a quarterback and knew what the direction of the quarterback was, and right now the Vikings don't know.
If we are questioning, I'll touch on this because it's very important. If we are questioning what JJ's going to do, if JJ's not going to sign with us in the offseason, trade him. Trade him right away. If you can pay him, I don't care. Pay this man whatever he wants. Pay him whatever makes sense. Give him his quarterback money, $25 million a year, $30 million a year. I don't give a shit.
He allegedly declined a contract for $30 million a year.
JJ, come on, man. JJ, allegedly. Come on, man. 30 million a year. Hey, JJ, come on, man. $30 million a year is Baker Mayfield money. You are not that good. I don't care. JJ, why do you think? My God, now $30 million a year.
Now I know why you've been drinking so hard the last couple of days.
Oh yeah, $30 million a year, JJ. Trade JJ for 2 first-round picks and get over it. Get over it, dude. Get over it. No way. I saw $30 million a year and I was like, I don't know about that. $30 million a year. Trade him. Trade him for whatever you can right now. If he's not going to sign a contract, if he's questionable, the worst thing the Minnesota Vikings could do is not trade JJ, have him play next year, and then be a free agent and not sign with us. That's the worst. Like, if that happens, we wasted the potential of drafting people based off of JJ's value.
Mm-hmm.
I am so worried about that as a Viking fan because I don't trust it. Like, I like Spielman. I think Rick Spielman did a great job as our GM. KOC, I never really he's the new modern day head coach. He's going to be doing what the players want. He's a player, locker room guy, whatever. But dude, it's like we have no direction. We don't know what we want to be. Like, that's the thing about the Minnesota Vikings is we're 11-6, and then we're freaking 5. Like, we're never that bad. We're 8 and 9 now. Like we're just functioning that like we're never gonna have a top 5 pick, the top 10 pick, and it's just a revolving door of like tank or don't tank. Like do what you want to do, but do something. And they just don't. The thing is like we're gonna have like games where like Kirk Cousins is gonna be the comeback kid every single week, and like we're gonna win close games. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna lose first round to the Giants. We're gonna lose to Daniel Jones, who literally the Giants don't want. They paid him money, they don't want him.
They're most likely. It sounds like he might be a post June 1st cut too. So Daniel Jones might be on the market after June. We'll keep going.
What?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We hit a nerve. Wide receiver.
It hurts.
It does. Wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, 3 year up to 3 million or 33 million with the Pats. Yeah. I feel like
he had a good year.
I feel like if you can do a 3 year up to 33 million with Kendrick Bourne this year, you should have been able to do a 3 year, $33 million contract with Jacoby Myers last year with the Pats, but that's just me.
Jeff Okudah to the Texans.
Dude, the Texans stocked up on their defense. I know Okudah is a former third-round pick. First round, number 3 overall pick. Hasn't panned out due to injuries and things. But I think with that defensive culture, we're going to see some... They got Derek Stingley, him. Like, we're going to see some shit with that team this year.
Okudah's young, too. He's 25 years old. Yeah. It's worth the gamble, I think. Gardner Minshew, we talked about him, 2 year, $25 million deal with the Raiders. I like that. The Raiders also had talks about possible trade talks about Justin Fields. That'd be interesting. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, but cool.
Right now, they have Aiden O'Connell and him. You don't know what you're kind of going to do with quarterback in this situation. Do you draft somebody? Do you trade? Just kind of up in the air.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew's better than Jimmy G, but how much better? I don't know. He had a good year last year, though. Xavier McKinney to the Packers, 4 year, $68 million. Big money. Big money for DB.
I thought the Eagles were really going to go and get him, but with that type of money, I'm glad we didn't.
Vikings sign Andrew Van Ginkel, former Dolphin, 2 year, $20 million deal. A decent player, pretty good outside linebacker.
Played ball.
Not anything.
Played ball at Iowa,
solid.
Iowa Community College. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
solid. Vikings sign Blake Cashman, 3 year, $25 million. Former Texans linebacker. He'll probably play inside. I don't hate it. Another solid guy. Another guy that had a lot of injuries that didn't really pan out. I would say. There's the Brian Burns one. Robert Hunt to the Panthers, 5 year, $100 million. I don't know, man. I thought that was a lot of money for Robert Hunt.
I think he's a guard, right?
I thought he was a defensive player. Maybe he is a guard. I don't know.
I think he's a guard. Landon Dickerson's contract really set the precedent. I'm glad the Eagles did that extension right before legal tampering started, because a lot of these guards are getting money that I'm glad that we got that taken care of before. Because if Landon Dickerson, because I think Landon Dickerson's way better than Robert Hunt. If Landon Dickerson saw he got a 5 year, what was it, $100 million or whatever?
Yeah.
So this dude's making $20 million, and Landon Dickerson's going to be making like 21 a year. Landon Dickerson would have been like, piss off, pay me more, type thing, because he's more than $1 million a year better.
I agree. Devin's Singletary to the Giants, trying to replace Saquon. Solid back, not great. Kind of a good guy for a rotation guy, but he's just a weird player. He always has been. He's very slow. Ran a 4.6 and 40. Austin Eckler to the Commanders. Hate this. I'm a big Brian Robinson guy. Many men. Great running back. Like Brian Robinson Jr. a lot. I don't know how this backfield's going to go. I assume that he'll take like the
third down receiving.
Receiving back role that Antonio Gibson had.
Yeah.
He'd probably be better at it than Gibson. I don't know what Austin Eckler is because he just looked terrible last year.
I
He
like.
was really washed.
I love the contract. 2 years, less than $6 million a year. I love the contract
Yeah.
because I think Eckler still has the capability to be a good running back in the league. I think last year just was not a good year in general for the Chargers. But I mean, fuck, 2 years, 11, 2 years, $6 million. Fuck, I would have been like, all right, if the Eagles got him, all right, whatever. But we don't throw him the ball, so we don't need, we don't pass the ball, so we don't need him. But I mean, that's a solid contract. I like that contract amount.
Yep. We talked about Landon Dickerson. Joe Mixon is being traded to the Texans.
I like that.
I don't know what for. Yeah, that's a good position for him. Good. I mean, he's the epitome of like a good solid back. He's not really good at anything.
And they're going to give him consistency. They're like Dameon Pierce up and down. Singletary had his games. Joe Mixon's going to give you a consistent daily and nightly. Plus, you still have Dameon Pierce in that backfield, which I think, Dameon Pierce loses that starting position. He's going to be working to try to get some more playing time again because last year was just a bad year for him.
Yep. Jacoby Brissett, or not Jacoby Brissett, Zach Moss, 2-year, $8 million deal with the Bengals. That's a steal of a deal right there. $4 million for a running back that was highly productive last year once Jonathan Taylor was out. Jacoby Brissett, 1 year, $8 million. I was wrong. $2 million less than, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, it goes back
Gus Edwards to the Chargers.
Yeah, back to the team.
Oh, go ahead.
Goes back to the team that drafted him. I like that.
Gus Edwards to the Chargers. Solid running back. Really good power back. He's had some moments in the NFL, just never really been a full-time starter. I have a feeling they put some money in some draft stock in some running backs. Like who was that one running back they have that they drafted a couple years ago?
Joshua Kelly.
No, not Kelly. The other one. He was decent touted in the draft process. Where did he? You got to look at Chargers running back. You'll know who I'm talking about as soon as you see it.
There was.
He got drafted within the last 2 years.
Yeah,
you don't know who I'm talking about.
The only one I can think of was Joshua Kelly.
Okay, well, it's not Joshua Kelly, but it's another one.
Justin Jackson?
He was.
Is it Justin Jackson?
Jackson.
No, he's been longer than 2 years. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
You have your phone. Look it up quick.
No.
Chargers running back.
No, it's too far.
Oh, you're so lazy. But good pickup for the Chargers. Decent back. I'm sure he'll have some playing time. Leonard Williams signs a 3-year, $21 million deal. I didn't write down who it was, actually. Seahawks. Oh, that's right. He re-signs with them. Solid defensive player. Tyrod Taylor to the Jets. I think that they do not want to have what happened last year happen again. So Robert Saleh's trying to save his job. Makes sense. Tyrod Taylor's a very solid backup quarterback. I kind of wish he was our bridge quarterback, but what do I know?
Wilson has that can seek a trade, which I don't know what team's doing that yet, but
probably in the Minnesota Vikings, we're gonna have ex-Jets quarterbacks running the roster. We talked about Sam Darnold. Aaron Jones, 1 year, $7 million deal to the Vikings. I like that. I feel like that's a good bridge running back. Aaron Jones is a solid do-it-all running back. He kind of is injury-prone, but fuck it. We got Ty Chandler. Let's go out. We released Alexander Madison. Let's go. Hoorah. Let's go Vikings. Run the piss out of the ball.
A guy that can actually be a number one and was very good when you used him as a true number one last year.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota to the Commanders, 1 year, $6 million. Cheap.
Yeah.
He's okay backup. Darnell Mooney got some legit money to go to the Falcons, 3 years, $39 million. Pretty shocking that they gave him that much. Shaquille Barrett to the Dolphins, 1 year, $9 million.
They needed that after letting Christian Wilkins go, and most of their they have 5 people on their defense leave. So They needed something
Yeah.
for him.
Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens, a 2-year, $16 million, up to $20 million contract. Uh, Probably the steal of the free, one of the
Well,
steals
yeah,
of the
I
free
love that
agency.
contract. Love that fucking
I
contract.
I love that fit. I feel like a bell cow running back that could go with Lamar Jackson, giving me like I don't know, Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson. Once Russell Wilson ran vibes, like I feel like they could really, really pound the piss out of the ball running it, and
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's not going to throw it, so just run the ball.
Yep.
Mike Gesicki, 1-year deal with the Bengals. They can do their gritties together, him and Jamar Chase, so that'll be fun. Um, Mike Gesicki is known for the most famous gritty of all time. Um, Steelers, again, coming out and just swinging at the free agency, getting steals of deals. Patrick Queen to the Steelers, 3 years, $41 million contract. That is cheap for a guy that I think is very highly touted as a solid, above average, could potentially be one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL.
Wanted the Eagles to get him so bad.
I wanted the Vikings to get him. Like everyone wanted Patrick Queen. Drew Lock to the Giants. Daniel Jones is going to be gone. Who cares? The Packers released David Bakhtiari. And then Cody Parkins, 3-year, $22.5 million deal to the Rams. And then someone got Jared Everett. I cannot remember who it was, but I think it was the Bears.
Yeah. I have that here.
Yeah, you go through what you got.
Yeah, Jared Everett to the Bears. Naheem Hines, 1-year deal, up to $3.5 million with the Browns, which kind of shocked to see him get signed. Lions sign DB Amik Robertson to a 2-year, $9.25 deal, which the Lions need those defensive backs. Let's see here. Derek Watt is officially retired from the NFL.
Oh, nice.
1 second here. Did we ever talk about Darius Williams, or am I tripping?
I don't know if we did.
Darius Williams, 3 years, $22.5 million, heading back to the Rams. DB.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Talked about Mooney, Jameis Winston. Oh yeah, Jameis Winston's deal is $8.7 million.
Nice, cheap.
I'm moving in the wrong.
We're saying it's cheap, but if we had $8 million, we'd be so happy.
Colts re-signing cornerback Kenny Moore to a 3-year, $30 million. Makes him the highest paid nickelback in the NFL.
Nice. Kenny Moore's a solid player.
Eagles signed Devontae Parker to a 1-year, $4.69 million, fully guaranteed contract.
Third down, our third wide receiver. Okay.
Oh, with that, Eagles are only paying him $1.2 million. The rest is being paid by the Patriots. So, super cheap
That's good
for a pretty much could be most likely a bust of a player.
Cheap is cheap.
Bills have agreed to a 1-year deal with linebacker Nicholas Moreau, formerly played for the Eagles. Don't see the contract amount on that. Carolina Panthers are signing former Broncos linebacker Josie Jewell to a 3-year, $22.75 million. I like that. Josie Jewell.
Nice.
I like Josie Jewell. Jalen Mills, 1-year deal to the Giants. DB, formerly played for the Pats.
Oh, Frank Lavua, Luvu. Yeah, he got signed to Washington, right?
Yeah. We already talked about Danielle Hunter.
Yep.
Jonathan Owens on a 2-year deal to the Bears, formerly leaving the Packers. A lot of division interchanges. Been
a lot of that. People want the revenge.
Talked about Jordan Poyer. Bucks re-signed Levante David to a 1-year deal worth $10 million. Keeping him.
I saw that. Good.
Sorry, there's some breaking shit I'll get to. Linebacker Jordan Brooks, 3-year, $30 million to the Dolphins. So Dolphins beefing up that defense. Lions signed Marcus Davenport to a 1-year, $10.5 million deal.
It's their problem now.
Yeah, I really wanted him to be good with you guys. Then wasn't he injured for like most of the season or something? Just
Yeah, he
yeah.
sucked. He was a waste of money.
Linebacker Kenneth Murray, 2-year, $15.5 million to the Titans, former Charger. I think he's
That's a
decent.
good
Yeah,
pickup.
I like that.
He had potential. He was a high pick in the
Uh,
draft.
Panthers signed guard Damian Lewis to a 4-year, $53 million. Former Seahawk. There. Will Lutz was gonna be a
The
Jaguar.
kicker.
Yeah, was gonna be a Jaguar. Opted out. Was gonna go to the Jags for 3 years. Backed out of that because you can, and is staying with the Broncos for 2 years. Brandon McManus is on a 1-year, $3.6 million deal to the Commanders. Defensive end Yetter Gross Matos. Did we talk about him? I don't remember. 2-year deal, $18 million. I didn't write where he went. I don't know why. Defensive tackle Daquan Jones, 2 years, $16 million to the Bills. Offensive line Michael Onwenu. He's staying with the Pats, 3-year, $57 million. Linebacker Azaz Al Shair. I don't know if I said his name right. 3-year, $34 million going to the Texans. I think he's like meeting up again with D'Amico Ryans. They have a relationship or something. Texans defense going to be scary. Here we have some more Eagles news. Eagles have signed Gardner Johnson, safety, to a 3-year, $33 million deal.
He's back, right? I hate that.
I'm so happy.
I hate that very much. I hate that so much.
And then breaking news. Hold on, I'm getting it pulled up. You're going to be ready for this. Willie Gay agrees to a deal in New Orleans. Wow. Okay, this trade's kind of crazy. The Steelers are sending wide receiver Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers.
For what?
The Panthers receive Deontay Johnson and a 7th-round pick. The Steelers receive defensive back Dante Jackson and a 6th-round pick.
They needed more DB help. Dante Jackson's really fast. Deontay Johnson to the Panthers. Oof. I don't know what I think about that. I mean, that's good for Bryce Young.
Wide receiver, kick returner Isaiah McKenzie is headed to the Giants.
Okay. He was okay.
Dan Skipper's re-signing with the Lions.
Okay.
49ers.
Tom Brady came out of retirement.
49ers are
signing with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Signing defensive tackle Jordan Elliott to a 2-year deal, former Brown. Vikings are re-signing Brandon Powell.
I mean, he was okay. I'd rather us get Dalton Reisner, but whatever.
Jeremy Chin is headed to Washington on a 1-year deal worth $5.2 million.
Okay, safety.
And then my favorite one here. This one was hilarious. So Dion Dawkins, yesterday, he signed an extension with the Bills. but on Instagram, he went on Insta and posted something like basically like a farewell to the Buffalo Bills. It's like, oh, I'm leaving. My time here has been great. So then, like, social media was like, Deion Dawkins being released by the Bills or whatever, and then like 5 minutes later, it's his contract extension being posted. I thought that was funny.
Nice.
Yeah, we all know how you're feeling about your Vikings. We'll definitely have to see what clearly there's a lot of players still available. Best running back available, I'd say, is J.K. Dobbins. Unfortunately, his injuries history is kind of making.
There's some DBs.
Yeah. Well, like the safeties, I mean, we have Jamal Adams still available. Quandre Diggs. Justin Simmons technically is not on doesn't have a team yet, which I know the Eagles were pursuing him, so clearly that didn't work out since we're getting Gardner Johnson, which I'm perfectly okay with. It'll be a fun rest of this free agency to see.
A lot will happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot more that's going to happen in 2 weeks. And then, gosh, we're going to be looking at the draft pretty soon, talking about that.
By the time we film, XFL news will be out there. We'll be able to watch a little XFL.
Yeah, XFL will be starting up too. So,
or UFL.
Yeah, UFL. Go
Battlehawks.
Yeah, we're Battlehawks.
AJ McCarron, the best quarterback in all of the league.
Yeah. But other than that, nothing. Let me look. Any last second news breaking here, just to see real quick.
Adrian Peterson signs with the Minnesota Vikings.
Patrick Mahomes has reconstructed his contract to add a 21 mil to the salary cap.
Such a team player.
Yeah, such a team player. Give me a second, guys. I just want to make sure we're up to date here.
We're going to the last millisecond, guys. Before we chug the rest of this beer, we're gonna make sure you know everything that happens. Everything.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings trade down. We get the 5th overall pick and trade with whoever has the 5th overall pick. In return, they get a 2nd in our 1st round pick. Because they're just really nice people, and we take who was the 5th overall pick this year? The Cardinals.
Sure, I think they have 4. 5
the Patriots. Giants. The Giants trade back because they don't want a quarterback. They're keeping Daniel Jones as a starter because they spent a lot of money on him. What's the biggest fleece, Daniel Jones or Sam Bradford? To the Arizona Cardinals.
Probably going to say Daniel Jones.
Sam Bradford was like $100 million. Or no, his was like an $80-some million contract. But they're both fleeces.
Man. I know. Yeah, I'm going to go Daniel Jones. But all right, with that, thanks for staying tuned. I know this is all going to be old news by the time this releases. But we'll have more news for you in 2 weeks with the off-season fun. We're going to continue off-season fun. And
till the season starts.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to do draft stuff. But the week.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get into fantasy and stuff like that. But follow us on the social medias. We have been up to date.
Yeah, Insta.
If you look at the Insta stories, any news that I've seen, I have made sure that I posted on there, so you can stay up to date and be like, "Oh, you didn't know that happens."
The X.
Yeah.
2 drunk _guys_ pod. Facebook, we got a group. We got the YouTube. All that good stuff.
The TikTok, because we are Zoomers.
Yeah, the TikTok.
Well, I'm a Zoomer. You might be a millennial, but we're somewhere in between. So
whatever. But all right, cheers. Everybody enjoy the free agency and the upcoming UFL.